All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Moonhawk Studios Presents, broadcasting to you from the fucking disaster area that is my home. I am Matt Allen. With me in the studio, as always, is my good friend Adam. And yes, I know I broke the commercial rule of not swearing during the first 5 minutes.
They've removed that.
We were adhering to that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, considering what's happened at your house, I don't think it really matters. Like, it's hard to not curse when,
Right. So Adam, you were kind of quiet there, but I don't know if we're adhering to that or not.
Well, anyway.
We got Kevin in the house.
Over here, hi.
That doesn't work when nobody can see us, right?
Yeah, I know, but, you can hear my voice, you can think I'm over somewhere else.
You could try to do like a Doppler effect with your phone or something and be like, over here, over here, over here.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Well, no. I'm going to give you all a
Like, see me waving? Teddy Fan is on the technicals.
Yes, things have not broken yet.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
More on that in a minute. And of course, being colorful as always is the Golics.
Yeah, I'm around here somewhere.
All right, we have a great show for you tonight with a great guest. But before we get into the particulars, let's get started with the news. Adam, kick us off, if you would, please.
So, I have entered week 3 of my mother's foot infection, and I am very ready for this to be cured.
Yeah.
It's not just, the normal concerns, but it's also, she's still not quite ready to put pressure onto foot pedals. So, I got to take her to do chores on the morrow. I am very much looking forward to that ending. Indeed, it cut into my own health time as I had to push my doctor's appointment to next week because this is ongoing. And at the very least, it is getting better. It's slow. So, a fairly bad infection plus advanced stage is gonna do that. So that's about it for my news. Kevin, what about you?
Well, as per usual with me, nothing really much happening around here. So other than work and after a long work and dealing with a very busy Labor Day weekend, and now hopefully things are quiet for the next. It'll be very interesting what happens this weekend because people are going to be probably getting stuff and getting ready for Sunday. Let's just say that. Hint: football's back, or American football if you happen to be listening outside of the country. But yeah, that's happening this weekend, so it'll be very interesting to see how busy it gets for that. But it was very busy for Labor Day weekend, I will say that, because, well, last weekend is summer, so, Yeah, other than that, nothing really much happening around here. So, Petty, what's happening in your world?
It's been a relatively quiet week. Friday, I went to the dentist and basically got the first half of my root canal done. They need me to go back to do the, finish cleaning it out and do the proper permanent, I can't remember if it's a permanent filling or permanent crown they want to do on it. Unfortunately, because I can't drive due to my disability, and neither of my parents can really get time off until at least October. And the dentist doesn't think the temporary filling will hold until then, so I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do. because unfortunately the dentist is in the big city over an hour away. So trying to Uber that will be expensive. So that's gonna be a pain. As far as other things that happened, my sister took Soul to his first vet appointment. Soul is my new cat, and we found out he was about 14 weeks, so about 3-ish months. We thought he was only about 10 weeks. So we are looking into getting him fixed either end of this month, beginning of next, because it's
Yeah.
getting to be Luckily
A thing.
there are no cat. He's going to be an indoor cat, and there are no females that he can do that to in the house. So
Well, it's the random spraying that's the problem.
yeah, but luckily he's so young, and the other male cat upstairs isn't doing that, so hopefully he won't. But yeah, that's something that needs to be worked on, dealt with.
With the bathwater.
Also on Saturday, we decided, because he was so good at the vet, we decided to take Soul on some adventures. There's a local cafe we like to go to. Well, they don't say they're explicitly pet friendly. Soul stayed in his carrier, and we're friends with the lady who runs it. So as long as Soul stayed in his little backpack, she didn't care. And he had his first taste of what is commonly known as a pup cup. It's basically, I believe, just like unsweetened whipped cream. And he really enjoyed that. We also took him to a boutique shop that my sister and mom really like, and they are pet friendly, and we let Soul meet the owner, and she loves him. And he also got like oohed and awed over by patrons there. And then we took him to the pet store, and he was a very, very good boy. So Tuesday, I sent an email to my therapist inquiring about, what the steps are to get him, registered as a emotional support animal, basically. And she sent me the letter and information stuff I needed for that. So Soul's now an emotional support kitty.
There you
Yay.
go.
So that's going to be fun. I also need to see about getting a patch for his little backpack, just so should it ever get lost, people know where to return him. I already have like a Bluetooth tracker on his collar because he's small. He will try and get into things. We are working on training him, so when he hears the sound it makes, hopefully he goes to the person who has their phone out, like my sister's cat Athena does. Because generally, if we're turning on the tracker, it means he's doing something bad. So that's just going to be a work in progress. But yeah, outside of that, not really a whole lot to report.
All right. Alex.
Well, the floor installation from last week is the floor part is done, but apparently there's some custom cabinet work and fixing some stuff in one of the bathrooms that they're going to do too. So I'm mostly through with having to deal with my days being interrupted by people coming in to do work, or more particularly my sleep, because contractors like to start bright and early and I don't. I don't know. Other than that, not too much going on around here. Mostly waiting for like the 10th is next week. It's a week from today. Is apparently my sister's coming up around sometime around then, and we're probably going to do something for her baby's birthday. And yeah, that's I guess that's most of it. It's work. Thankfully, this is a lighter paperwork week at work, so the fact that it was a short week isn't making it incredibly hectic. Because when we have a short week on a heavy payroll week, it's a pain in the ass. And video game wise, mostly been beating up a blue flame goldfish in Pokemon Scarlet.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, came back to the old homestead to broadcast for a change, and boy, I regret doing that. Cats blew up half of the, we'll call it the entry point circuit for my solar array here. So in front of the window, I have a little rolling cart that doesn't move very much because there's so much weight on it. That has a sort of do-it-yourself battery pack in it that has 5 batteries inside of milk crates that are kind of zip tied together. And I've got my charge controllers, and then on top of it, I set up sort of a decorative platform that had some figurines on it, and it had I found a neat pixel art game over LED sign, and I have a panda lamp. No, I will not be taking questions on that at this time. Just some, goofy game and anime related stuff on it. Not the least of which was my Raiden Shogun figure that I just got from Genshin Impact, as well as a couple other figures. Raiden Shogun is a tad. This particular figurine was a tad unstable because she's holding a rather large parasol. And also my home internet modem. So, yeah, dummy butts tried to jump on top of the precariously stacked platform, which is just a tabletop sitting on top of a. Basically, it's a folding. You know how they have those little shelves you can insert into your cabinets to give yourself an extra shelf, and it folds and locks in place, and the legs lock in place, and it's like it's metal, but it's covered with like a white coating, like the racks in your refrigerator. Well,
Kinda.
What?
So I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, it's just a tabletop that I found that was sitting on top of that had all this decorative stuff on it, and the cats decided to jump on that and topple the tower. Now, luckily, the batteries are pretty tightly packed into the bottom crate, so that didn't get knocked over. But yeah, I had to spend a good 15 minutes beforehand undoing that cat ass trophy. The hell was the thing we were talking about that I said more on that before in a minute?
State of the studio talk? I don't know.
Oh yeah. Studio related stuff.
It was mostly the knocked over stuff, I think.
No. I said Petty Fan is on technicals, and more on that in a moment. We are going to be moving Moonhawk Studios Presents back to its own channel, not to Mac Paladin's Retro Gaming Emporium, but to a dedicated MSP related channel, so that way I can create content based on and around this show specifically. So it will have its own following and its own setup, and Petty Fan will still be in charge of operating the show, Although I am actually pretty much set to run my own shows again, but I just don't want to. I like the setup we have. I just want it to have its own branding, so that way it doesn't. To put it in programming and networking terms, so there isn't a lot of crosstalk with Fragments of Silicon, which hasn't been part of the MSP sort of je ne sais quoi.
I mean, frankly, MSP has been part of the Fragments of Silicon je ne sais quoi for about 5 years now.
Kind of, but I mean, we've only been broadcasting on this channel since February. It was on my retro gaming channel before, and it just doesn't really fit because the show isn't specifically about gaming anymore. So I think it just needs its own place. And it's not like we're abandoning each other or anything like that. That's not the plan. It's just, again, so that way, first of all, it'll be a lot easier because then Petty Fan will only have to cut off the leader and the footer at the end and just send it straight to YouTube. So you won't have to download it and clip it and do all that stuff. You could do everything inside the Twitch studio.
Well, there isn't really even a footer unless we get a surprise raid need to shoot off at the end of the show.
Right. So that way it'll make editing easier for you. You can do it almost immediately. You don't have to cut it loose from the Fragments broadcast each week. I just think it'll be easier for everybody. And the only logistical hurdle is getting your Streamlabs OBS setup rigged so that way it operates pretty much as it already does. Just so you can switch logins real fast and continue on as if nothing had happened. Okay, going over to the other channel now. Bye. Click. Click. Hi, we're back.
Yeah.
Pretty much as seamless as that as can be done with Twitch. And I've done it before with other channels. I know it can be done. It's just a matter of actually doing it and walking you through the steps. Pretty much it. I've already set up the Twitter page and gotten banned for 24 hours.
Good job.
That was fun. Yeah, apparently I was getting hostile with MAGA people without a blue check.
Oh boy.
DWOB, driving without blue check.
Oh dear.
I have learned that I can say goddamn near anything on Twitter as long as I have that blue check. The instant I get rid of that blue check, then all of a sudden they start doing all these, you need to verify your email. Your account has been restricted. This thing has been done to your account. We have flagged your account as being potentially spammy. Every additional account that I have set up on Twitter X without a blue check mark has gone through this rigmarole. You are apparently not allowed to be on that platform for free for very long and say anything even remotely incendiary. I really like the cut of your jib. That sounds old-timey. We can't have that. Be sure to review the rules of X before posting. Oh, okay. What word offended you? Was it cut or jib?
Oh boy.
We don't like pronouns like your. Oh my God. So yeah, so I had to deal with that for a couple of days. But yeah, so if everybody wants to jump over and follow it, it's MSP_official, but the L is a number 1. Because apparently somebody else was MSP_official, which really annoyed me. And I didn't want to be MSP_official_1 or -1 or just 1. It's a whole thing. My dad's birthday just passed on the 29th, and we since he had a root canal on Thursday, which we commented on last week's Petty Fan elected not to sit with me and work on the show because he was having his own face drilled.
Mm.
And I said, "You and my dad, I swear to God, it's like you've got your ailments synchronized or something," which is weird. It's only happened twice, but it's weird that it happened twice. I had a nickel, but yeah, I've been getting all of my games off of 7-day hold at Bookman's. I now have Super Mario Maker for the Wii U. I'm sure there's, it's like everything they made for the Wii U, they immediately remade for the Switch. So I'm sure there's already a version of this for the Switch, but this was $20 and this was $18, and the Switch version is probably like $55.
Almost like nobody bought the Wii U.
Yeah, imagine that, right? Except for this dumbass right here.
Meanwhile, mine's downstairs. I need to check and see if its NAND is dying, actually.
The internal hard drive.
Yeah, for the Wii U, apparently that's a huge failure point. You can fix it with a micro SD card, but you need to do it before the NAND fully dies, or else it's just a brick.
Yeah. I bought. And to further add insult to injury, I didn't get the 32 gig model. I bought the 8 gig model and plugged in an external hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
So the 8 gig model is less susceptible to failure, but there's isn't that like less than 10% of the installed base of the already meager installed base of the Wii U?
I have no idea.
I know that GameStop bitched about them not selling well.
GameStop bitches about a lot of stuff. You're gonna need be more specific, bro.
Right. Want to get a few more things because I'm just gonna be once we start doing Final Fantasy 14, and that like I said, there's a computer that I've got in my shopping cart on Temu. It's a little Nook style computer, but it's a full-on gaming PC. It's a Ryzen 9 processor with a 780M graphics chip and 32 gigs of RAM. And it has either 512 gig or a 1 terabyte M2 drive in it. And it lights up, so it looks cool. So if it is indeed as advertised, if it's at least a Ryzen 7 or better, because sometimes they ship these units and they're like, "Oh, we sorry."
Here's your Ryzen A5. How the hell did you even fit that in that motherboard?
Yeah, isn't that an FM2 processor? And it's actually an A6, but A5 was a crippled derivative that we had as leftover wafers from the factory when we were manufacturing the A series processor. They didn't quite cut the mustard for being an A6, so we put it out there, and it runs at like half a megahertz.
Good luck. Godspeed.
Yeah.
Your return window is now closed.
Yeah, your return window ended the instant we handed you your receipt. Like before your credit card even processed. Sometimes they haven't been they have shipped units that are not exactly as advertised but still function adequately, so most people haven't been too terribly upset about that. I don't see any reviews to that nature on this particular model. 2 years ago I saw a gaming PC, quote unquote, of a similar style on the platform, and somebody said, "Wow, it was actually a Ryzen 7 sniff." But they did list a specific model of processor, and it's a 7000 series processor. So hopefully it's pretty good. Hopefully. I've been wanting to get another Ryzen 9 ever since I accidentally smushed all the pins trying to install the water cooler on my 3950X.
Congratulations.
Yeah. You ever seen a Ryzen processor fly through the air?
With the greatest
This one
ease on the flying trapeze.
I opened the back door and frisbeed it across into the shopping center next door.
Fun.
Yeah, you heard it go plink, plink, plink as it bounced across the parking lot. Hopefully I didn't hit any cars, but if I did, oh well.
Free copper.
Yeah,
And gold
exactly.
and platinum.
Yep. So that's the big thing: cat destruction and prepping for this Final Fantasy 14 thing, which I am actually looking quite a bit forward to because I do believe we now have confirmation that Elemental Ogre will be joining us.
Yeah, I just need no days.
It's gonna be Tuesdays. You pick 4 or 5 in the afternoon Pacific time.
I don't have a time zone calculator in front of me. I will get back to you on that.
You're 3 hours ahead of that. Or wait, you're in Central, right?
Yeah.
You're 2 hours ahead of that.
So what? 5 is what? 7 my time?
7? Yeah.
That
Does
probably
that work
be
for you?
best. Yeah, that's probably best. Yeah.
All right. So as of right now, the only thing that's up in the air is exactly what day in September we will be doing this, and it all depends on how quickly I'm able to get the money together because I do still owe people and the federal government money.
You still got kidneys, right?
Yeah. Well, if I sold that, it'd actually clear my debt. I hear they go for like $50K on the black market, but I'd have to sell both of them, in which case I'd just have to walk around with the debt.
I was about to say, in which case you would have no debt.
Yeah, I would be no dead. Be in a bathtub filled with ice, with a note taped to me that says "Call 911." Anywho, that was dark. My dad has informed me that he now has Paramount Plus and he's watching Star Trek Picard.
Oh man.
He's like, I like it, but you're right, it was very dark. I said, just trust me. It starts to brighten up a little bit as Picard resolves all of his latent childhood trauma. The 3rd season is just nostalgia porn. It's like let's get the band back together. We're gonna go on a grand adventure. There's gonna be changelings. There's gonna be Borg. There's gonna be a new Enterprise. There's gonna be an old Enterprise. It's gonna be fucking great. In fact, we're gonna build an entire bridge set for exactly 15 minutes of footage. Hilarious. But he seems to be enjoying it so far. We were always disappointed with how Nemesis ended. I think that's pretty much a universal constant among Star Trek fans. We were supposed to get a 5th film, but Nemesis. Yeah, we're gonna go. Just relax. But yeah. Anyway, that's it for that. So let's get to the main event here. Tonight's guest is Charlene Chua, illustrator and author, The Pink Pajamas. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're finally allowed to speak. Sorry about the long delay there. I normally start considerably earlier, but we had a little catastrophe there.
So I heard everything's okay.
Yeah, everything is all right now. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Well, so I'm a primarily I'm a children's illustrator and author. I've worked on a bunch of books. I think by now my book total is about over 30. Yeah, and most of those are like written by other people. I have a couple of books out by myself, and The Pink Pajamas came out last month, and it's my second author illustrator book. And you can cat crying.
We can find them. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know, he's fine. He's just walking around and not sure what he wants. Yeah.
Oh, you have an interloper.
I have 3 cats, so one's sitting here with me quietly. One's I don't know where the other one is, and the old guy is like wandering around, and it kind of sounds like he's hungry, but we fed him not too long ago, so I'm not sure what he wants. Yeah, usual cat stuff.
I know all about that. Cat destruction. Doodles is over here laying on her back in the middle of my bedroom floor. She's my 14-year-old baby.
Aw.
She's just
Yeah.
laying over here dying from the heat because it's still hot in Arizona.
Oh. Yeah, I can imagine. Although cats are supposed to be desert animals, so they're supposed to be better with the heat than we are.
It's been about 92 inside the apartment, and cats have a tolerance up to about 94 degrees Fahrenheit.
Hmm. Yep, that's kind of pushing it. How is your computer not melting?
I'm not using it when I'm not home.
Ah.
I'm kind of on a solar setup. It's a long story.
Okay.
We don't want to occupy all the time with my nonsense. We definitely want to talk to you about your stuff.
Yeah, so that's I don't know, like that's pretty much what I do. Other than uh working on children's books, I draw in my free time. Sometimes I draw stuff for kids, sometimes I draw stuff that's not for kids. So that's pretty much my life. I don't play that many video games, but my husband, he used to be a game reviewer, so I've spent a lot of time over the years just watching him play video games.
Now, I personally haven't had a chance to research your work, and Adam has probably done a bit of research, and I'm going to unleash him in a moment here. But I was just looking at the flags in your bio. You have the Canadian flag and a Latin
But
American flag that I do not recognize.
no, that's the Singapore flag.
Oh, it's a Singapore flag. Okay, well that
Yeah.
explains that. Okay,
At least it's
now that
showing
I'm
up.
done, huh?
It doesn't show up on my desktop version of Blue Sky. It only shows up on the app versions.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think in,
Okay.
in the desktop it just says like small like CA and SG. But yeah, that's the flag of Singapore. Singapore being the we're most famous for caning Michael Fay back in the 90s and banning chewing gum. And also, like the famous
And the birthplace
hotel.
of TikTok. And the
Sorry?
birthplace of TikTok. The birthplace of TikTok.
No, I don't think is TikTok from Singapore. I thought it was from China.
The yeah. What was the guy who was dragged before Congress? He says he's Singaporean, and the CEO of TikTok is
Oh yeah,
Singaporean, and the company is based out of Singapore, even though it's co-owned by ByteDance, out of China.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I know he is Singaporean, but yeah, I was pretty sure that TikTok itself and its parent company were uh, from China. But it's Singapore has a lot of multinational companies and a lot of things headquartered at it, so it's not terribly surprising, really. And yeah, I didn't really watch any of that proceedings. All I know is that at one point it was like banned. I'm not sure whether it's still banned. It's not exactly banned in Canada. I can still access it, but then they had to shut down the offices here, which is a different story from like the whatever happened in the US. So yeah, I do not actually use TikTok all that much myself because I'm not very keen on doing videos. So whatever happens, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Irrelevant to me, and I like it that way. Yeah, so
Right.
um yeah, I don't know what else to like continue on. So do you have
No,
something
you're fine.
like
You're fine. I was just um, Adam. Why don't you take over? I'm going to go sit over here and contemplate the errors of my existence.
You do that. All right. So I suppose the first question is, what made you want to become an illustrator?
Well, this thing's not picking me up on two sides, right? So I kind of wanted to be an illustrator for a long time, and I always liked drawing. Um, and when I was a kid, my uncle actually was an illustrator back in like the 80s, maybe early 90s as well. So, the concept of my dad also was a photographer in the 80s. So the concept of you know, making a living off art was not really that foreign to me. And I kind of just I wanted to be a paleontologist at first, but then there weren't any schools for that. There weren't even any fossils in the area to check out at the time. So after a while, I was like, okay, well, there's no dinosaur here. So I was like, yeah. Also, I realized that to be a paleontologist, you had to go out into the field and like dig for stuff, which I found not really agreeable because it was dusty and there was no indoor plumbing. So I was like, maybe not. Yeah. So being an illustrator kind of appealed to me. It really kind of like kicked off when I got into comics, and I really liked comics when I was in my early teens, and I wanted to, be a comic book illustrator. And yeah, so that kind of like kept me going for a while, and that eventually turned into other things. I went to study what do they call it? Visual communications, because there wasn't any course for illustration at the time locally. And so I studied that for just over a year and didn't like it, dropped out. Uh, Managed to get a job somehow, though. And then things were kind of booming then with the first, the dot-com boom and stuff. And they were hiring anybody who, you know, knew what a website was and could like code in basic HTML. So I kind of managed to get some jobs there, worked in like um, web and advertising for some years. Um, and then I just kind of felt, like I really wanted to just draw, and I just couldn't do that while um, while working in that industry. So eventually, I just, my husband, boyfriend at the time, encouraged me to just try it, and I was like, okay. So that's what I did, and eventually, it worked out.
Now, did you have like the specific goal of mind to be an illustrator of children's books, or is that just something that happened along the way?
Yeah, that kind of just happened, really. The kind of comics that I wanted to draw were very far from children's books. Um, I think at first I liked like the 90s renditions of like X-Men and stuff, during the Jim Lee period. Um, then I like whatever Image was doing, particularly J. Scott Campbell with uh, Gen 13 and um, Jim Lee and Travis Charles, or I never couldn't figure out how I pronounce his last name, doing with like Wildcats. Then eventually I kind of like Sandman and other Vertigo titles, and I kind of wanted to do that. And towards the latter part, I kind of like what Serena Valentino was doing with slave labor, and I wanted to sort of get into that whole kind of like indie comic vibe at the time. But it never really worked out for me that way. And as I started to do more illustration, I just kind of got hired more and more for projects that were involved with children's stuff somehow, whether it was like, products for kids or magazines for kids. And I would just do it because, work is work. You get paid to like do this stuff and bills need to get paid. But yeah, over time I kind of realized that I actually kind of liked doing that sort of work. It was fun and I seemed to be relatively good at doing it. So after more years, I kind of just like thought, you know what, maybe I should just like, instead of like constantly fighting with like, no, I don't really want to do kid stuff. I'd rather do this, that, or the other thing. Sort of just like lean into it and be like, you know what, I'm good at this. And, I'm getting somewhere with this. And it's not like I hate it. So I may as well kind of see where this takes me.
And where has it taken you?
It's been pretty good to me. I mean, the whole bunch of like children's books is great. I get to work with like very talented authors. I really enjoy bringing their stories to life. Some of them have been nominated or won awards. The one that won the Stonewall Award, the publisher flew me to the ALA conference, which is the American Library Association conference, for the prize ceremony. That was lovely. Meeting other people in the industry, seeing all the people that attend that conference, librarians, teachers, that sort of thing. Outside of books, I think one of the highlights was doing a promotional campaign for McDonald's, and it was like celebrating different festivals, cultural festivals, and one of them was briefly flashed on like one of the big screens in Times Square, and one of my clients snapped a photo of it. I don't know whether I still have it, but that was pretty awesome because I was like, well, having your work in Times Square for even 3 seconds is like pretty cool. So I don't think I would have been able to do that with my non-children's work. So I think that, yeah, leaning into it and working on stuff for kids has been good to me as far as illustration goes.
Sounds like it. Before we delve further down that route, do you want to talk a bit about your not for children work, let's say?
Well, that's I don't really do any paid work that's not for kids anymore. I in the past I used to illustrate for like different magazines and stuff, and some of them were, not for kids, and some of them were very not for kids. But since probably 2015, 2016, yeah, I kind of like just focus exclusively on kid stuff. But that worked. I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't talk about it very much because it's not relevant and some people have issues with it. But, that work was fun. In my earlier part of my career in Singapore, I illustrated for Maxim and FHM, among other magazines. And, it's like it's tame stuff, but it was like, we did like some articles of like, I don't know, what was it? Like different kinds of like lingerie or something like that. And like sexy exercise poses and stuff like that. So it was like nonsense, silly stuff, but it was like fun. I did one time. I did a T-shirt for a company that was I don't know how to describe it, but they kind of do T-shirts that kind of have that look like they would be suitable on a heavy metal cover, So that was like pretty cool. The one time, and yeah, various other things over the years. There was a packaging job with with the coffee brand Keurig. So like
yeah.
we did, yeah. Oh no, like yeah, it was K cups, but it was the actual brand was Tully's Coffee. So I did like the rebranding for all 12 of um their coffee flavors. That was There's nothing raunchy about that, but it was nice, and I liked it. And it was very fun seeing the final product in stores, like in Walmart and stuff. Just like going and seeing your work on this thing that's on the shelf. It's fun.
Does it ever get surreal?
Surreal. Like, how so?
Like you can't believe that,
I don't see an actor.
like the Times Square thing. Like you can't believe
Sorry.
that your work ended up in such a place or something like that.
Maybe I don't know whether surreal is the right word I would use for it. I feel like there must have been some kind of like surreal experience, but I'm not really recalling anything right now. Maybe like the most surreal experience that I can remember was like being invited to Fan Expo one time and then also being like, why am I even here? So it was like one year. You all know Fan Expo in Toronto, right?
I'm sorry.
You all know about what Fan Expo is in Toronto.
Oh, I can gleam a guess.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a big comic book convention. It's probably the biggest one in Canada. And so one year, I can't remember what year, but they had a incident, and that year went really badly. So for the next year, a lot of artists kind of like either they boycotted them or they didn't want to go for some reason or whatever. Anyway, they had like extra vacancies, I think. And somehow or other I applied for like the guest list and like the invited artists. And usually Fan Expo has a really good lineup of like strong guests that are like very closely related to comics, like the artists and writers and stuff. So somehow I got a table, and I was like, yay. And then I like show up, and I'm like next to Bobby Chu, who I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a very well-known artist, and he runs a lot of like classes and stuff like that. So I'm like next to him, and I'm sitting at this table thinking like, wait, like, who am I and why am I here? And he's got so many fans, and like they're all like there for him. And at some point I was like, do you need a bit more space, because I'm not doing anything at my table? And he was like, oh, if you don't mind. So I was like, okay, sure, you can have like half of my table, because I really don't know what I'm doing here. So that was like kind of surreal, because I was like, okay, I was so glad to have like the table, because that meant like free entry. I didn't have to line up, and I had somewhere to sit down while like walking around and stuff. But at the same time, it was also like nobody knew who I was and why I was there, because I wasn't working in comics. So it was that was kind of surreal.
Like, don't really have anything to add to that. Anyway, So, I believe you have mentioned that you have recently made the shift from just being an illustrator to becoming an author in your own right. What precipitated this swerve of career, let's say?
Well, this one is, it's The Pink Pajamas is my second book that I've written, and I don't really write that much. It's not my strength or, what I particularly enjoy doing. This particular story came about because it's The Pink Pajamas. Maybe I should, give a quick overview of what the book is about. So, The Pink Pajamas is a story about, it says in the title, Pink Pajamas, a story of love and loss. So, it's about a young girl and her aunt, and she likes, she loves her aunt, and her aunt, loves her, and she also sews her pajamas. So one day the aunt sews her a pair of pajamas, but they are pink, and the girl doesn't like pink. So she's like, "You," but then she kind of wants to like say like, it's okay. But then her aunt is like, "Oh, it's okay if you don't want it. Like that's fine. I'll just sew you another pair." But then the aunt gets sick, and she eventually, passes away. So then the rest of the story is the girl kind of dealing, with the situation of her favorite aunt not being around anymore, and not having like with her the pajamas anymore, and then it resolves itself at the end in a nice and uplifting manner. So that's the story, and the inspiration, if you want to call it, for it. It's kind of just based on real life because a few years ago, my aunt did pass away back in Singapore, and I was not able to go back and attend her funeral and stuff. So, it just got me to thinking a lot about her and my relationship with her and the my relationship with death and how I experienced it when I was a child. And through that, I think I just felt like, what, I'm just gonna try writing this story, and if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere, and if it doesn't, like, okay. So that's why I wrote it. And you know and then I gave it to my agent, and she was like, yeah, okay, we can, this is promise, let's shop it around. So she shopped it, and the editor, well, actually, a few editors were interested in it. So it went to auction, and it was eventually acquired. Um, but yeah, it kind of was a special case in this one because of the circumstances around it. I don't usually, sit down and think like, hey, I would like to like write this awesome story, or like I'm so inspired today because I saw a bird or something. So it's still a very new and novel experience for me, and somewhat frustrating because partly it's frustrating because my husband is a writer, and he writes like really big novels and stuff. So sometimes it's difficult to even, want to contemplate writing because I'm like, yeah, like I could just ask him to write it for me and that would be so much easier. But it doesn't really work that way for like picture books. If I wanted, a novel, then yeah, he probably could write me a novel. But a picture book is different. It's kind of reliant on the pictures as well, so it's a bit harder to just go and say like, hey dude, can you like write me this book that is gonna be like no words on this page. Yeah, so that's kind of how and where it is with me and writing. Like, I think I'm still actually getting back to trying to write. I don't have. It would be nice to be able to like write a longer story again, but I don't think that I've gotten to that point yet, and I just really haven't had the time to focus on that.
I mean, I suppose that up to you in terms of whether or not to pursue such a thing. Um, like it sounds like you don't have to write War and Peace if you don't want to.
Yeah, true. I just yeah, I don't know. Every time not that I've tried a lot over the years, but you know, the last time I tried writing something longer, it sort of made sense for like about 800 words. And then either I was like, well, I don't know what else to write, or it started meandering into like something else. And I'm like, yeah, maybe this is like not working out. See,
I
picture books
mean,
are nice that way because they're, they are not easy to write, um, because they are so short, but because they are also very reliant on the pictures, it's in a way easier for me to kind of like write that than a 100-page or more
I mean,
novel, a story.
right. I can certainly see why that would be the case because, as we have talked about here, you are primarily an illustrator, and
Hmm.
a picture book would flow in much easier than a big serious novel.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. And like,
Uh,
I mean, I would like to, and maybe if this, if the illustration thing winds down for whatever reason, then, I'll be like, okay, well, I guess I can move on to something else. But for now, and for as long as I can, I'll be like, yeah, let's hang on to the illustration thing first.
which does bring me to quite the fiery topic.
Mm.
That is generative AI. Yeah, like it's certainly been a topic of conversation in a lot of fields,
Hmm.
but I've been wondering how it's been affecting, yours. Given like, art, pictures has been like one of the big flashpoints of this
Hmm.
particular debate.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I'll just be polite about it and say I don't like it very much, and you can extrapolate from that my actual feelings on it. But I don't use it. I don't want to use it. It disappoints me when people use it because it feels I don't, let's see. I'll try and like put this in a way that doesn't offend people, but like a lot of it feels to me as an artist kind of bad because like, you know, a, art to me it's very close to me, and in a way it's part of me. So when art is taken from me without my consent, whether it's from, fed into an AI generator, or it's stolen to off the internet and put on a t-shirt somewhere else, it feels very violating and non-consensual. So there's, for me personally, there's an added element of discomfort with all of it, especially the way that it is at this present time. Um, and the I try not to get too involved in the community discussions of it and all. I know people feel very strongly one way or the other. And it's like, well, that's sort of like how it is with how people feel right now. And if people have decided already that they want to feel one way or the other about it, it's probably not going to change their opinion by like yelling at them and stuff. But there is, I think, pertinent questions that, emotions aside, you can like ask and then kind of draw your own conclusions as to like whether you think that this is something that's worth participating in right now or not. I know there was a whole big thing with like DragonCon recently, that guy getting booted out for having the AI stuff. There was a very interesting thread on it on Blue Sky that my friend posted. That the thread was actually written by her friend who was at DragonCon, and he kind of like broke down the entire situation of like how that person got in, and why they were allowed to like or like why they were there and selling, and how they eventually like were asked to like leave and stuff. And it sounds very much like a whole, beyond just the use of AI. It just sounds like that particular case a very deceptive undertaking that at the end of the day, it seems like, why, man? Like, how much money were you gonna really make from this at this event? And I don't know, maybe if it's like a business and you're doing it very often and like every week and multiple times a week, then yeah, okay, maybe it's lucrative. But I don't know, just as like, it's not great.
Right.
Insofar as like children's books itself, the publishers, some publishers have had statements. I don't think that they've necessarily made statements saying that we won't use AI, but they also don't have statements saying we're going to use AI and get rid of all of you. So at the moment, it's kind of like this, well, everybody's sort of like waiting to see what happens and where it goes and stuff. There's also like that big lawsuit now with, well, I'm not sure whether it's a lawsuit since they apparently have reached a settlement, but with authors and versus Anthropic, which I believe we should hear some news about it this week or next week. But yeah, so it's kind of like just this ongoing development thing. But the other fact that, as far as I know, the thing consuming a lot of like resources and stuff is sort of like a bit worrying. I mean, my personal work aside, the amount of like energy and water that it's currently like using is sort of like, shouldn't we be like prioritizing people getting this stuff first? Hi. So it's kind of like where I, am a bit baffled by all of this and this rush of AI companies kind of like seemingly really keen on like using AI to replace like, people. And I'm like, okay, I mean, if there is a like like why is everybody so happy with this because it's like you do realize, right, that if we all do not have jobs, like we all do not have income, which means that we all cannot pay taxes or buy stuff. So yeah, that's like kind of bad for capitalism in general, I think. So that's kind of where what I think about it. And um, yeah, I'm sure, people will say that there's a lot of benefits and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, you have your way of seeing it. I have my way of seeing it. I guess eventually we'll see what happens. Although, if you lose your job over it, I sure hope that people don't then go and complain about it online. They were happily using the thing in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's definitely a polite way of putting the conversation. Some people are less polite about it. Some people are actually more polite, but it is a bit of a sticky wicket, and not just on the front you mentioned, because another lawsuit avenue has opened up since there's a couple out there who's basically accusing Chat GPT of helping their teenage kid commit suicide. So we got that going on now.
I mean, those things are very good at answering questions and very bad at knowing when not to. So,
Right.
I mean, I've not used that myself, and like I said, I haven't used it, and I don't want to use it. But you'd sort of think that it's sort of ought to be the time where it's sort of like with cars before and the lack of seatbelts, and after a while, you sort of maybe we should, consider the seatbelt sort of thing at the very least.
Right. Anyway, so something else that I wanted to ask that came up while we're setting this up is you mentioned concern about banning. It seemed to be an indicator there that there are those out there who wish to see your work banned. Like, um, like, was there a particular reason why they would want to take that stance?
Well, generally the book banning effort is in the US anyway. It seems like it's primarily well,
It's
sorry.
the short thing is it's often done under the guise of won't somebody think about the children?
Yeah, more or less. That's what I seem to get from what they're saying, and I also think it's really. I mean, there are a lot of things that you could concern yourselves with over the welfare of children, and especially in the US. But sure, okay, let's focus on this one for whatever reason. But yeah, the banning is primarily the two or not, I'm not sure whether they're outright banned or challenged or whatever, but I get hassled on Instagram, well, primarily Instagram. I don't know why, but I get hassled there sometimes by people when they find the book or they heard about it on some talk show or whatever. And it's always one of the books that I've worked on that has some kind of LGBTQ theme, subject matter in it. And I mean, the thing that I dislike most about it on Instagram, anyways, that I never know when to expect it. So, you get all of these like comments and stuff, and like most of the time they're lovely comments from like, people who will be saying nice things and stuff like that. So you get very accustomed to expecting that. And then suddenly one day you open up your your messages, and then you see this comment and it's like saying these things, and you're just not ready for it. And it sort of like throws me off for like, the day, because it's just a reflexive thing to do. And somebody calls you things that you know that you're not, or accuses you of like doing things that you don't think is like inappropriate. So yeah, that's kind of like where it is, and it's made me a little bit more cautious with like engaging with people and stuff, because I don't know, for sure where things will necessarily end up or what direction they go into. So, I don't think it's particularly a worry for me, because I'm just like not that famous enough. But you have probably read about, things that other more famous people get into, and how people like kind of like sort of like, I don't say lay a trap for them, but like they engineer situations to like where the person will say something, and then they'll be like, oh, this person is like, confirmed this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, so I think it's kind of sad that way, because, I don't need more reasons to, be distrustful of humanity. I want to be, I want to trust people, and I want to like think that people are nice and, will do nice things. But sometimes that's just not the case. And
Right.
yeah, so yeah, but anyway, when it comes to the banning and the challenging, yeah, it's mostly on like one book. It's like this cute little board book, and it's called Bye Binary. And because of that, it's just got this sassy little baby that just is saying like, I like, why do I have to like girls this toy or that toy? Is like, there's I like dolls, and I like dragons, and it's all cool and stuff. So that one got like black, and then the other book
Yeah,
that
you can't be telling kids that they've got to box themselves into like normal societal patterns and stuff. No, but no,
um
no. Sorry, I'm being sarcastic, and I don't know if it's coming across. It really annoys me when
I
stuff like
mean,
that gets used as a criticism.
that one hurts me the most, because probably they're not going to listen to this, but like, what hurts me the most about that one is that my mom was like, yeah, I don't think we should be telling like, kids this stuff. And I was like, it's really not that different from how you raised me. So, like when she raised me, she was like, she never was like, oh, you're a girl, so you have to play with Barbie dolls, or you cannot play with He-Man because those are boys' toys. And I was like, that, you let me play with like any toy that I wanted. And I didn't like playing with Barbie doll. I just, like playing with like He-Man and, you know, uh, stuff and Lego. And you were fine with that. And that's kind of like the essence of what this book is saying, is just got a couple more, you know, like words that are newer words in there. And now suddenly it's like this, like, we shouldn't be telling kids this. It's like, how is, like,
Hmm.
I'm whatever. Anyway, so that's sort of that book. And the other book is Love Violet. But that one's weird because it came out. Love Violet is a lovely little book about a girl that wants to give a Valentine to another girl for Valentine's Day. She's like she's just kind of like worried that she'll get rejected, but not in a sexual way. It's the same as like you want somebody to like be your friend, but you're worried that they're not going to want to be your friend. It's kind of same vibe. We made sure of that in the book, and then it came out. No, nobody really made a fuss about it. It won like the award. Again, nobody made a fuss about it. And then it got involved in the I don't know exactly what the case was called, but anyway, it was the one with the SCOTUS thing, and then they had to go and get the Supreme Court to like read a bunch of children's books so that they could like pass judgment on it and blah blah blah. And I really didn't want to be very involved in that because I I kind of thought that it was a bit of a kangaroo court in that sense. Probably is not good for me to say this, but I sort of figured that the judgment would not go in a way that was beneficial to the books. But then what exactly was being debated was also not, it was and it was not about specifically about the content of the book. So I felt that it was very dishonest from the start. And anyway, that that situation was as it was. And I think after that ruling came out, that was like last month or a month before. And then suddenly I just started getting like these weird comments on Instagram again. And I was like, what? Why now? Like, am I on the news or something? Apparently I was. I mean, they mentioned the book and, it was like front center to the left. I don't know, but it was like on national TV. So my name's on the book. Not that most people read my name, but there. So yeah, and then a friend of mine said that, oh, your book was featured on some YouTube thing, which was then referenced by some other YouTube person, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't watch any of this. And then people leave like weird comments on like stuff that's not even related to the book in question. And I was like, but that got me really fed up because they were like leaving like comments on my book about, the pink pajamas, which I explained earlier is like about my aunt who passed away. And people leave comments like, how can you teach this kind of like this kind of derogatory, whatever, I can't remember what words they use, thing to like children. And I was like, usually I just blog and I don't reply. But this one I just replied them and I was like, this book is about my aunt who died from cancer. Hi. There's, there's like, now it's like not even like scary or anything. That was just like stupid. Like, just because I worked on like one book or a couple of books that have queer themes, it's like, oh my god, you people think that everything I do has to have a queer element to it, that I'm somehow pushing like an agenda on children. And it's like, I like cats because I like cats. Like, I don't like cats because I'm trying to like make children gay with cats somehow. I don't know, you tell me.
Logic means little to these people. And that's being kind.
I find like people have a great capacity to be creative when they want to be.
That's certainly a way of putting it. Anyway, so I suppose we'll wrap things up here by asking you, when does your latest book come out?
My latest book, the Pink Pajamas.
Yeah, the Pink Pajamas. I believe it's coming out next year.
No, it came out last month. It just came out last month.
Oh, okay. I might have been reading something else.
No, that came out last month, and um, I think the next book that might be coming out. I think it might be a chapter book called Focus and Focus, and the Snowy Day. I think that might be the next one that's coming out in probably spring next year. I don't think I have any more releases for this year.
That could be what I was seeing. Okay. Well, I think I've gone through my gamut of questions. I'll see if my colleagues here have anything further for you.
I jumped in on the thing that I was thinking of, so.
I think I'm
you covered
good.
all of it. I think you covered all the important stuff. All right. Charlene, thanks for coming to visit with us, and we really appreciate you talking about your project.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It was a pleasure, and I hope it was interesting for your
Yeah.
audience to listen to. Just don't have much to contribute in the way of other pop culture stuff, but if you wanted to ask me about those, I could try and talk about it.
All right. Well, we'll have to have you back sometime, and we'll get more in depth on that.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks again for having me.
All right.
All right, and have a great evening. And I don't think there's any other holiday upcoming, so we're great.
No, we just had
Rest-
Labor Day in the United States, so
Yeah. All right. Well, hope you guys have a great rest of the summer and or fall. Fall's already here, and yeah, that's good luck with your podcast in the future.
All right. Thanks so much.
Okay. All right. Good night. Bye.
All right. All right. That was Charlene Chua, illustrator and author of the Pink Pajamas, and apparently there were other projects. We'll need to look into that at some later date. Coming up next.
Did you forget how to do transitions?
Nope. Just Minivan, cue up the video.
I was busy protecting my power strip from a 10-year-old kitten, so I am not ready. Give me 15, 20 seconds.
A 10-year-old kitten.
Yes. Noisy is my 10-year-old kitten, and she knows how to work power strip switches. She would have got us
Groovy.
offline.
Groovy.
All right. There's that. Unmute. Loop. And sharing in the Discord. And I'm going to need to God damn it. I'm dumb. 1 second. Is the...
Pulled the wrong lever.
Yeah. I forgot this is one of the 14 or 4x3, so I can't have it all stretched out.
Right.
Which means that, yep.
Okay.
Apologies. I'm bad at my job.
Fill the space while we
Dead air.
We need to vamp. We need to vamp.
All right. We are in position.
Okay, good.
Do we need to go into the spiel on this one, or
I hope not.
Just,
We're on
just
episode.
assume, look, just assume the position, all right? And
all
we're
right?
going five.
We're pretty much know exactly what's going on here. Ooh.
That is a little loud. One moment.
No, it's version. Wow, it's the version 2. I don't know why they decided to put that on the front of this.
These might be different tapes.
Kevin,
Yeah, maybe
you're
this capture is from a
scare me
rebroadcast.
Yes. Yes, that got my nerd thing going there. Yes. And
Yeah,
yes,
no,
this
these are
probably
different
isn't-
masters. I can see the artifact
Yeah.
at the bottom's wrong. Yeah, these are different masters.
Yeah, this is a different. Yeah, this has to be a different master tape because that's the 1980s HTV ident right there.
Yup.
When England got computers.
Once again, you people scare me sometimes.
Look, I'm an audiovisual nerd. He's a TV nerd. When we combine,
I'm a what they call a TV presentation nerd.
yeah,
That's what they call it.
Good
There,
name
TV
for this.
presentation.
Author Douglas Adams was credited as having the first personal computer in the UK.
I could see it.
And yes, so by the way, there is a community that preserves stuff like that. So
yep.
Well, you know the significance of 42, right?
All right.
Alright.
Remember last time we got a cult leader emerge.
And his
It-
really weird chairs.
Indoctrination are us.
No, but seriously, 42 is the ASCII number for asterisk, which is the universal wild card for absolutely anything.
Really? It's time at 40 after the hour? It kind of feels like it should be a little bit
Somehow
more
that
unique
chair
than
is
that.
swivel. That bugs me.
God, that is made
right.
from fucking cardboard.
Oh right, the sci-fi door.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been a soap carving, but this ain't the BBC.
Meanwhile, Ark of the Covenant was when?
Let there be light.
1981.
And bad acting. And terrible special effects.
Energy. Force.
God.
Change.
Oscar clip.
Change.
Funny
Yeah.
shot.
Give him the trophy, lads.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. Wait.
So wrong series. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does involve dirt and rock, so
Sandra seems to have stopped feeling. Stopped feeling.
I don't think Garignac is the coolest.
Oh,
please.
Good idea.
Paul is a dead man. Miss him. Miss him. Our very impressive door technology.
Which besides 33,000 laughs in your face.
It's alive. Wait.
Welcome to your
The bloody hell was that?
Feel.
Like a
I feel
right.
light.
I don't know. This
Witty
second
and
season,
witty and oh wait a minute.
Whole.
I don't know. This second season of Wednesday isn't starting off so good.
So happy.
It is important to remind people that this took place in the same decade that they invented Quaaludes.
They were probably on Quaaludes.
That was the joke.
That was Bill Cosby's drug of choice.
I believe it.
Wah.
Moving on.
Go now and take your place. Go now and give your thanks. Go now and be.
Yeah, it was once used in psychiatric medicine.
Wait, what? Oh, right.
Quaaludes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what y'all get for not looking at the room and going, wait a damn bloody minute.
All
That's
these
what y'all
squares make a circle.
Wearing
All
the
these
circle.
squares make a circle.
Yeah,
The
there are
people
a
who
lot
made
of
this
squares
series are
here.
definitely squares.
And
All
of course,
right
we're
for
being
some,
forced to
not all
endure
right
the
for
horror that is
me.
square dancing.
Okay, we're gonna turn this down slightly.
Not well. Then they cut away, thankfully.
Yeah.
Come.
Ah, yes,
Pity I
they'll
didn't do
come.
something of Margaret's for my psychometric bit. Might have learned.
Oh,
more from
boy.
going Through Sandra.
Learn or imagine.
Really in your color.
I was right about the supernova, wasn't I? The broken amulet told me that.
Too festive.
And I was right about the doctor. The night.
Do you have the scarf in a beige or brown, perhaps?
You know, he's right. You know, everything that he said is true.
Yes, but what? What happened after you was killed?
It's like, Dad, I've seen everything that's been happening here. You're not believing me still?
This whole series is the J.C. Penney's summer catalog. Browns and beige, beige and brown.
Welcome to the
JC Penney,
70s.
Wait, J.C. Penney? I'm thinking more Sears.
That is.
I am literally quoting a comedy routine.
Oh, right.
Changing. Ah, what happened? Are you okay, man?
Them and their children of the corn looks.
Gone.
Did I really groan while I was talking like that?
I can't get through anymore.
Well, try. You must keep trying.
Turns out that's from a different take.
Sandra seems to have
It was just a freeze frame.
feeling.
Stop feeling. But what's happened to her?
I like how they had to cut
What the
away
hell did I just
between
tell
his
you?
expression.
What's all this? A seance?
Well,
They've been teleported to another plane.
Ghost.
Eat
Well,
their
yes.
souls.
Are we glad
Yeah.
to see you? Where's Sandra?
In bed, I hope.
oh,
Consumed
bullshit.
by the corn.
How was dinner in the big house?
Oh, I didn't go.
Just send him to
Came
the
back
fucking
without your
cornfield
daughter.
already.
There were a couple of boiled eggs. In
Just send him to the fucking cornfield already.
I don't know anybody who has, apart from you. I was
Uh-huh.
You
in a
want to.
strange kind of way.
You were both
Wow.
invited to dinner.
That would require
Yeah.
getting a
Sandra wasn't
cornfield,
feeling too well.
which I think is a
I
bit
thought
beyond.
was
Really?
So
Like,
Beyond the
she wasn't
budget of this
feeling
film.
well, so we went back home. It's
I
like,
couldn't
if she
possibly
wasn't
afford
feeling well, she would have been not well at your house.
she is.
I don't understand.
Oh, thank you. Alcohol will
When you
definitely
left
help.
Here, you were on your way
Hey, I
to
mean,
Cornfield House.
Shoot.
She'd been feeling
Do you have any other suggestions about how to loosen up?
Especially after I've ingested all those
Yes,
quaaludes.
yes, of course, of course.
Which leaves me with egg on my face. I'm sorry about all that, Dad. Good night.
Yes, good night, Matt.
Oh, come on. You're really buying this?
Margaret,
Meanwhile, he ends up dead in the morrow.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
glad you didn't go.
I guess better the cornfield than the active Liz Cosby room.
Like, come on, dude. You really buying this bullshit?
Listen,
I don't know. How much are they selling it for?
In
Like,
fairness,
come on,
she
man.
is fairly pretty.
Yeah, well, I guess it is easier to buy it from a pretty woman than, well, someone older than her.
Brilliant. Impossible to move. Energy.
Gotta watch out for
Oh.
them gin-
Did they just change the lighting of the soundstage?
They did.
Apparently.
It's to emphasize the torment she's going through.
Yes.
Apparently.
Oh, Lord.
Walk, knock, no, push, knock. Oh, sorry.
Morning, sunshine.
Don't worry, Adam.
Fromage is cheese, only backwards.
Perfectly happy.
We happy few.
And he's like,
Title drop.
bloody hell, they got her. Or at least I hope that's what that says.
The nice thing about filming in rural England is we can provide castles for free.
Basically.
Especially if you go in the roll
Well, and mausoleums,
Leaving.
Yeah.
I never heard the line.
afraid so, Mrs. C.
which is convenient when you go on that, killing
Yeah,
spree in Stonehenge.
Yeah, he's leaving. It's like, I'm getting the bloody hell out
How
of
about
here.
2 of your specials to send us on our way?
That makes him smarter than most protagonists.
I've had enough of this stupid little village. I've had enough of this crazy little village. I'm getting out of here.
I'd like
And
sausages and tomatoes with my eggs and some fried
And
bread.
Many of the horror
Hey,
protagonists.
come on.
wouldn't
And
say
look at her going. Look at her going to the kid like, tell your dad not to leave. He's like,
You can have my cake,
are you
ma'am.
kidding me? I want out of here too. I've had enough of this. In other
A lot
news,
of
you should
discussion
probably
about
forget
cake.
about the. In other news, forget about their eggs, forget about the food, get in your car, and get the fuck out of there.
Brought us here, I'm beginning to think.
Church of England, cake or death.
Quod non est.
Oh, yes, of course, the painting. It's over at the museum. We left it over there.
Yeah.
For Margaret.
Time to take that receivership in Lincolnshire.
Deeper than deep.
Turn this at the same time.
Oh, there's the green again.
Boy, there's the hook. There's the hook.
Follow that green.
Yep. Small town living. When you're so bored that playing in a graveyard
hell?
seems like fun. I remember.
I mean, after watching this series, you're going to need to put me in the graveyard.
Oh, I remember this. It's time for film day at school.
Film.
The film.
Sandra?
Wait a minute.
Matt, waiting for me.
Hi. This is at our place. I thought I'd swap it for my painting.
There it is. I looked everywhere. Thanks, Matt. You can pick up the painting on the way home from school.
I'm not going to school.
She has learned the art of humoring him.
I mean, I'm taking the day off to help Dad. Is your mother in? I'll get it now.
I don't know. In 1977, he was probably quite the specimen.
You said the church was locked, not you.
No.
What was Mr. Hendrick doing in there?
I don't know. It is church. I must rush.
Sandra,
Suspicious.
goodbye.
Okay, I think the shorter list is
We'll see
people
you
who
soon.
aren't acting suspicious.
Yeah. Like, brother, your girl's acting funny. Good
I mean,
lord.
we're at
Either she's been indoctrinated into the cult or touched by an uncle.
Why not both?
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was
I
waiting
say.
for that. That was the setup.
Yep. He got there before me.
Oh, Jesus.
He went across to your place.
To fetch this? I thought he'd forget it. So I brought it over.
Why?
Dear God,
Why what?
it's just all brown and
It's like-
beige.
Hadn't been to fetch it.
Yes.
And I didn't want to miss
Browns
it.
and beige, beige and browns.
Right?
I mean, you say that
Everywhere.
jokingly, but no, it is all brown and beige outside of her hair.
Oh, Adam,
The
stop
70s
playing
is
games.
shit.
I
Yeah,
believe you,
Jesus.
aren't you?
The 1970s were many a fashion crime.
Yeah. Especially the
If
mid
she
and
weren't
late
spicy-
70s. Jesus Christ.
If she weren't such a spicy ginger, this show would have no color at all.
And how do you feel?
She feels very happy, Mrs. Crabtree. She's been a lot happier with a cup of coffee.
I think I drank that tea in the Netherlands once.
I like how he's really trying all of these different methods of ingress.
Yeah. Well, you can't actually put pressure on anything; it might break something.
No.
Yeah.
The paper mache
Jesus.
set.
Just,
You couldn't pay me to go in through an opening like that.
I was more
Super
talking
fun.
about the girl's
Fun.
entrance.
Well, she kind of looked like she was like, he slides in there real nice.
Jesus.
the slit off of that thing. Like, goodness gracious.
You can do the Miles O'Brien. Jesus. At that point.
Oh, it turns
Jeez.
out it was a
Well, that
computer behind all the doings and transpiring.
Computer systems from the original Star Trek series.
I'm pretty sure they used that computer to decode fucking World War II codes.
By
Landrew, is that you?
Wait, that's the end of part one? Felt like the end of the show. Jeez.
Are we on the final episode?
No,
Nope.
two
No.
more, I think.
This is 6.
Yeah, 6 of 7.
Oh, 6
Dear
to 7,
God.
7.
Morning, Matthew.
Yeah, well, this
We-
definitely feels like
We have
penultimate
21 of
because-
these to go through a season.
What are you doing?
Cereals are going to pop up from
Mr.
time to time.
I've got to get
Yeah.
back. My father's waiting for me. I haven't had breakfast yet.
We don't need advanced lighting in this scene. I have a bald forehead.
An egg and tomato, no doubt.
I can I can direct the sun. One moment.
What's this about bacon, egg, and tomato and chocolate cake?
He owes you an explanation? Nah, brother, you owe him.
I was trespassing.
Bacon clip, but why?
I thought
Oh
this
my
was just
God.
a church.
Just a church. Just a place of worship.
Yes.
Somebody owes somebody something.
You know what this is, of course.
Yes.
Your
Look,
soul.
just get to the part where you start outlining your evil
It's a fucking
plan.
super.
Plotting the course of the stars.
Yes, the old classic. Villain says everything.
Electronics, magnetism, power.
We shall now consult the oracle.
Power.
Like,
Knowledge.
tell someone,
Knowledge and truth.
tell someone the entire plan, thinking that, oh, this kid won't stop
This is
me.
why man continues to pry. To extend the narrow limits of his comprehension.
Meanwhile, this is the penultimate episode, meaning that, yeah, he probably will.
But one cannot grasp. the
That's what you think, Scooby-Doo.
There are certain stars that will never be reached. Come, I'll take you to your father.
Get me out of here.
Right, time to take you to the oubliette.
Mr. Hendrick.
Don't let me disturb you. Just wanted to see that this rascal got back to you in time. What's he been up to?
We shall now consult the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale.
Going. Leaving us. Who told you that?
I can't believe I said that on the first try without fucking it up.
And it's recorded.
You feel you know all you need to know about Milbury, hmm?
All I need to know. Yes, perhaps I do.
Look, would somebody give Chrome Dome here a punch to the face already
Afraid not.
so we can be on our way?
I'm truly
It's
sorry
like-
about that. To be honest, I've taken a great liking to you two.
Look, I'm running out of named computers from Star Trek, okay?
Closer.
Understandable.
Your ability will be needed here in the future.
There weren't as many as you think.
Be a chance. Not only here
It's
in
the
village,
60s.
but soon
It's
outside.
a situation where he wins if he shuts the hell up, aren't we?
Basically.
Extension of your work here. A world empty of feeling.
You're an intelligent man, Adam. Stay and help me in my work. You'll not regret it.
No, we're away.
What do you want to? Yeah, just let them go if they don't want to help
Your
you.
work, Mr. Hendrick.
Matt, stay out of this.
Well, there you go.
Father to the village? Squire? No, it's more than that. You see yourself as a high priest here, don't you?
Matt.
Let him go on.
What I want to know is why.
You're stroking his ego.
Why do you need to be surrounded by a mindless congregation?
Let us talk to
Why is that
Lucira.
brainwashed into accepting you?
It's not me they're accepting.
Sure.
What?
She is that which survives.
Happiness.
There can be no
Oh,
happiness
stop it.
without free will.
They have to be shown the way.
Oh God, he's getting into a debate with a
Can't
Calvinist.
see where they're going.
Oh no.
I'm leading them. They're in safe hands.
Like,
Is this a
what?
predestination paradox?
Time to go.
Okay, if they don't agree with you, let them go.
I actually can't answer that question.
If they do not agree with your policies, let them go. They're not going to go around. What are they going to do? Go over to London to the Times and go, hey, guys, check out what's happening here in Millbury. Like they're going to believe them. What about an insane asylum? Like, think, brother, think. You let them go. They're not going to tell anybody else about it. They're going to think it's just some crazy little town in the middle of freaking England.
No, the thing is, a card is about to drop, a big
Yeah.
one.
Mm.
Is this story being told to us in the same fashion as the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya?
Yes,
Oh god.
Ah,
Welcome-
the beginning is the end. The end is the beginning.
It's the way Dr.
this is
Lowry-
about loop 3, if I'm remembering correctly.
So
Oh
freaking
god.
Oh Jesus.
The druidic chanting.
God, so many T-zones.
What the hell was that?
I don't know
The
if
answer is-
I don't know if I'm too sober for this, friends.
They want to do a painting. Oh, right.
Yeah, the answer is they can't leave because they're stuck in the loop.
Does that mean I need to start from episode 1 again?
No,
Do I need to whip out the Sonny and Cher?
maybe.
We can endless 8 this bitch.
That was what Mac was getting on about.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
only thing that's missing is Sonny and Cher singing on a radio at this point.
I figured it out, and I still have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Well, that's because we haven't actually been paying attention to the words that they've been saying. But this is explained. You know,
We're here to Sas.
What the hell
they are
about
the
the-
representations of the two
There's a stone
figures
in the middle
in the
of the road.
painting in the corner.
Stone.
The two people who are
Ah.
running away from the light.
Wasn't the stone?
That would have required me to actually look at the painting.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, they've been explaining all this stuff throughout the series. It's just because we're at episode 6, everything's coming to a head.
It was human.
Or recursing back to the beginning.
It was another.
Human, but not human. It was enormous.
It was her.
That's what she said.
That's what Dr. Lyle
And this is also why they could afford to try to leave.
Yeah.
Unearthly.
Delusion.
Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa.
Could it be?
Oh.
Well, unlike the cast, I have the option to go.
And how are we?
Get back here.
Good Dr. Lyle seemed to think that we showed no sign of hurt. I trust he was correct in his
Don't make me
assessment.
pull out the leash again.
Come to be here, Hendrik. Well, fortunately, Link here, returning from a shopping expedition, came across your car at the entrance to Linnet Avenue.
Bullshit.
Unconscious.
Are you buying this?
Fuse
No.
you may.
A bit, but like,
Carbon
no.
monoxide from a damaged exhaust.
Of course.
I might if it was free.
No, I think it was simple. I think we lost
Yes.
our way.
I'd buy that for $1.
Possible in Milbury.
Well, not geographically. I think we missed the turning. The time turning. We failed to get through to our present.
Dear me. Would you care for Link to contact Dr. Lyle? Perhaps he could take another look at you.
Oh.
We
Oh.
seemed to crash into.
Oh, are you surprised? Are you scared that they've figured out the code here?
And we hit
Hmm.
an obstacle. And
He
then I blacked
was
out.
stammering a little bit there.
That's exactly what happened.
Take a look out of the window, Matthew.
Who are
no.
you? I don't know.
No, at the window's open. You, yeah.
Ah, wholly undamaged.
Quality European
How
manufacturing.
about telling Dr. Lyle about these
From
hallucinations
Saab.
of yours?
Keep your doctor, Mr. Hendrik. Oh, Adam. Matthew was close to the truth this morning, wasn't he?
I once again call for the punching of the face.
Do you see yourself?
Can we get a
As a
couple shots in the
magus.
kidney too?
Get out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
You're
know
going too
whose
far.
face do you want to punch. I think so.
There are aspects
I don't think
of
it
your life
matters.
difficult to understand.
As long as somebody in that room stops moving.
Just get us out of here. That's all we
Look,
ask.
my fist hits the face, the bodies start hitting the floor, okay?
Magus indeed. Scholar magician leading his people.
That's how this goes.
in the truth.
And of course, they have to get upper crust British
Not even
about
halfway
this.
Right, Professor Breck.
Fucking
How
Magus.
little of me. You must both want to freshen up. I'll leave the tray.
Like, Jesus
sorry,
Christ,
Mr.
man.
Celebration this
They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about what y'all are about here. Let
Don't
them
worry, they'll
go
get another
home.
tomorrow.
What do you want them to do? You know, you don't. They don't give a. They don't care about you. They're not into this whole thing. Let them out of here.
That's it. 55 minutes.
This is only the third iteration of the Matrix.
Oh,
There'll be more.
Loop 69.
Sandra,
Isn't
Uh,
for us.
Dad, there's no way
The
out.
first iteration was Paradise.
There's no way out until the stones release us.
Mumbo jumbo.
Well, why are you here then?
That's parallel to our own. A time shift that's caused by the energies received here in the circle. We must keep our sanity.
It's almost like the circle is squared.
To reverse the situation, get back into our
so
own
it's time to justify all that ley line talk from
Escape from the
some
circle
episodes
while
back.
reversing the effects of this psychic power.
Turns out we're actually from 1985.
Be away.
There's no escape from the circle.
I don't believe it. If there's a way in, there's a way out.
We're gonna send you back.
That's supposed to be
to the
smart
future,
here. Oh
Marty.
It's
God.
supposed to be a place of safety.
They've been in the temporal causality loop for 6 days.
What's inside the stones? There's nothing to stop
At
us.
least.
Nothing? There is.
It's me. You know, you have a car, right? You can make them all disappear with enough of a head start.
Oh boy.
And more credits.
And yeah, that was kind of a disappointment seeing the kid go. Well, there's nothing we can do. And the
My
adult
God,
goes,
there's somebody
yeah.
there's somebody in
this
these
was a
credits that has a
kid's
doctorate.
there's nothing they can do this episode. You know, we gotta pad this out for another
20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's if you've watched a modern
2040.
training show, you should be used to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have quite enough material for this stretch of episodes, so time to stretch things here and there.
Yeah.
But yes,
If they stretch this any farther, they're going to tear their ACL.
Yeah. At the very least, we finally got the answer to what's going on here. Oops! It turns out they're trapped in a time loop.
Oops! It's always Quaaludes.
Yeah.
It's the fucking Bozeman every time.
Anyway, more on that next week. Now, time for entertainment news. And I think I know where we start this week.
Sorry about that. I accidentally disconnected from the call when I was trying to quit out of the video.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, Kevin, I think you will take this one. And that's
Okay.
talking about the sad and sudden death of Nelvana.
Well, I mean, there's a bit of an update on that, but it's more of it's not really a death, but more of well, we're not doing anything new. We're just doing pre-existing stuff. But yeah, for all of the talk about the American children's entertainment industry being in flux, dire straits, depending on what you believe, the Canadian children's entertainment industry is in a much more dire state. And that is crystallized by what has happened with the animation studio Nelvana, which has been owned, and I'm going to have to do live research here for just a moment to try to figure out certain dates and things.
I think it was something like 57 years they were open.
Yeah, 57 years, but trying to see when a certain company has owned it since yeah, live research, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry.
You can't put me on the spot like this. We've been sitting here for an hour and a half. Jokes aside.
Since 2000, yes, has been owned by Chorus Entertainment, which is this big conglomerate that has a lot of stuff, including a national television network, 36 radio stations, 25 cable networks, including a network you might have heard of called YTV. And amongst all of that, in the year 2000, it bought Nelvana, which is a very, very, very famous Canadian studio, which has...
I was about to say, do we want to run down the IP list for them?
Well, there's a very couple of them that you may know. They've been around since 1971. You may have heard of things like Magic School Bus, Beyblade in the early 2000s. If you were of a certain age, Little Bear and Rupert of the 90s. In the 1980s, you might have heard of a movie called Rock and Rule. That was theirs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, Nelvana is a very notable name and a very famous name for children of the 80s and 90s, let's just say. They also brought you a movie that in 1985 embarrassed the Walt Disney Company. That would be the Care Bears movie. And that's the movie that beat the Black Cauldron into oblivion at the box office, and
which is funny because people make fun of the Care Bears movie too. But I will say this: the first Care Bears movie wasn't particularly terrifying. The second one had some moments.
Yeah, but yeah, let's just say it made $23 million in America in 1985, which is a lot of money.
I mean, it did better than G.I. Joe the movie, which didn't even actually get a theatrical release.
Yeah, but
the test audience didn't like us actually killing Duke. What a shock! We'll fix it in fun.
Chorus as a company in the last couple of years has been very financially problematic. And they've done a lot of write-offs and a lot of everything else. Along with this Nelvana news, by the way, they have pretty much excised Nickelodeon after, I think it's like 20, 30 years from YTV and and the related networks.
Mm-hmm.
Teletoon, which Teletoon a couple of years ago flipped to Cartoon Network Canada. And now YTV is basically that too, I guess.
I'm just bummed to hear that Mrs. Frizzle is on the rocks.
Well, yeah, but
what's Traversa gonna do?
Yeah, and well,
that's a lot of esoteric references, folks.
Yeah, but earlier at the start of the month they closed. I forgot what the networks they closed, but they closed a couple of cable networks. They closed thinking I'm blanking. They closed Nickelodeon Canada because they had they launched the Nickelodeon side network. We're going to close it down. They also closed the American version of here they are. Yeah. Yeah, they closed on the start of the month Nickelodeon Canada. ABC Spark, which is basically the Canadian version of Freeform. They closed the Canadian Disney Junior and the Canadian Disney XD, which means the only two Disney XDs left in the world are ours and Poland's, by the way. Fun fact. And also the French version of the Disney Channel, La Chaîne Disney. What they closed at the start of the month. So, yeah, they also removed all Nickelodeon shows from their networks, which is the end of an era in Canadian television, which goes back to the 80s and 90s. So there's also that. But when we're talking about Nelvana here, there were social media reports from people around the studio and up in Canada that the studio had shut down. And for all intents and purposes, it has, although technically they Chorus announced that future production would be temporarily halted and any current projects would wind down. And basically they would focus on whatever they have in their IP disposal instead of original projects. So, and also continue to operate the licensing, distribution, and library units of the studio, which basically means that unless it has something to do with something they already own, you ain't getting a damn thing from the studio ever again. And that's only for now. Which, for all intents and purposes, means that the studio shut down.
Yeah.
Because when you make a move like that, that means that people have lost their jobs. And all of this probably happened very suddenly and without really little advance warning.
But at least the CEOs got paid.
Yeah, which is kind of the MO for this company because they've been known to shut down things suddenly and without real warning. And without really much respect. So.
So the Zaslav playbook.
Yeah, pretty much. Which unfortunately is very much a Canadian thing. So, all in all, just say a prayer for the polar bear, as it were.
So basically, venture capital is going to venture capital.
Not necessarily because this isn't necessarily a venture capitalist firm. This is just a Canadian entertainment company that is doing Canadian entertainment company things. It's kind of like venture capital doing venture capital, but it's in fact not venture capital, but actually the actual company. So, yeah, that's the situation with Nelvana up north.
Okay. Skydance can buy them out to liquidate them.
You laugh, but
I'm sure it'll be on the cheap.
Possibly,
sure it'll be
yes.
on the cheap.
Yeah, that's what's happening with Nelvana north of the border. And say a prayer for the polar bear.
I'll save a prayer till the morning after.
Oh.
Exactly. Anyway.
Oh, jeez. That is rough to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of head scratching when it happens to a studio that doesn't have so many things that are part of our sort of universal cultural lexicon. But when it happens to a studio, you're like this, you're like, how did this all happen? And I'm
Like-
sure there's a very easy explanation for it that is going to go down hard, but
I mean, these days it's usually they were a convenient thing to dump a bunch of debt off of and then get rid of.
which is why I made the hedge fund remark.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what happened to Toys R Us was they're like, oh, a profitable company? We can't abide that.
Mm-hmm.
That owns all of its own inventory and property? Whew, that's against the law. So, that's grim.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Like,
In other entertainment news, Donald Trump is alive and well.
that's not entertaining.
I know.
Nothing about that
That
sentence was entertaining.
Yeah, that was the sarcasm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Then again, that's not a surprise. Anyway, moving on.
yeah, in further news, in from the rumor mill, apparently a reboot of the Muppet Show is, or at least apparently Fox may be ordering a pilot for this.
Ooh, I
And
can't wait for that thing to not go anywhere. I'm sorry, but I'm pessimistic about this kind of stuff because
well,
how many times have we heard them wanting to do something for the Muppets, and and some don't even make it, and some do make it, but they don't last. So
I can't even say buckle up, kids, in case they're playing with our emotions on this one because
we've gone to this. We've done.
It's been
We've
a
had
bit
too many.
yes.
Yeah, we've had too many rounds with this to where you don't really have much hope. It would be great if they find, and especially considering it's Fox, like a network that will air any goddamn thing.
I mean, I've heard this story before about a kid and a wolf and a
right
paddock full of sheep, and it didn't go well for the kid and the sheep.
Yeah, I mean, do I want the Muppets to have solid work? Yes. Do I expect them to have solid work? Not necessarily. Like, considering that this is Fox, like, I smell creative differences.
Right.
By year 2.
Anyway.
So
while nothing's been confirmed, this is all coming from a Hollywood casting and production website. So, whatever this project is in active development, and we even have some names attached to it. Not good names, but names nonetheless.
Oh boy, what are they?
Well, Seth Rogen is attached as a producer.
Okay.
And it's going to be directed by Alex Timbers, he of the Beetlejuice musical fame.
Oh man.
I mean, musical element. I mean,
I don't know. Seth Rogen alone puts me off of this because his brand of humor is not really the Muppets. Like brand of humor.
I mean, I was listening to this. I was listening to this, and I was like, "Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, and 500 batting 500 is good enough for the Hall of Fame."
What I'm of the fact of, okay, let's see what they do. Like, if it's complete and total disaster, then it's just another one, another one in the bucket. But at this point, it's like, hey, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, it's nothing new.
Well, of all of the comedy guys in the business, the best thing that happened to the Muppets in the last 20 years was Jason Segel. And
Yeah,
unfortunately,
yep.
too much in demand to actually do anything with this.
Yeah, it's a case of, hey, if it gets to the screen, great, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then well, it'll be out. It'll be in and out in a season. Like if it's bad, then things will take care of itself.
I mean,
Especially since that Fox won't necessarily control 100% of this. So
I think we can agree on this at least, though. At least it's Seth Rogen and not like Vince Vaughn or something.
that you know what? Yeah, it's like there could be worse people behind this.
I mean, it could be Tim Allen.
Yeah, that would require Tim Allen to have clout.
Yeah, well,
He's prepping a non-woke reboot of Home Improvement.
Good for him. Like,
yeah,
like
no, I mean, if Tim Allen would have clout, he would be pitching this at ABC, though. That's the thing.
Well,
because he's an ABC man again.
Well,
for now,
once again, he's
yeah,
still working.
But more of the point. Go ahead.
He's still working in the outhouse of linear television.
Right. But yeah, it's like.
Hey, but that show he's doing was switching. What is it? Shifting Gears with Kat Dennings is. Well, I mean, it's like a show.
And they're doing. You said they're doing a Home Improvement reboot. Well, they're doing a Home Improvement reunion episode of that. Yeah. Because it's 1995 and not 2025.
Oh boy.
More to the point, when it comes to this, it's like, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, well, it's just another one of those things for the Muppets, and they'll go right back to being entertainers for hire, which they have been since the year 2000. So, for the most part.
I'm laying odds on the fact that the opening episode of the new Home Improvement will involve them talking about one of the OG cast members unaliving themselves and blaming it on Obama somehow.
Or maybe that one kid that's had a problematic adulthood, maybe they'll blame Obama on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, I think we should wrap it up for the week.
Yeah.
All right. Next week, we have Richard A. Johnson of Rat Trap Productions, LLC. Purveyor of stories and the accoutrements to enhance them. Also, I hoard all the shinies and my dice hate me for it. Any additional information you can provide, Adam?
I can. Rat Trap
All right.
Productions is a game company whose products are designed to be, first and foremost, fun. A lot of what we have been producing and stocking has been based around helping you build your own epic adventures. So basically, they make paraphernalia for your tabletop role-playing game adventures.
Oh man.
Yeah. And also they delved into, they deal with miniature games, that kind of thing. I don't think we've had, they also have card games. So they deal in a lot of hobbyist accoutrements. So it's going to be an interesting conversation because we're still in the midst of Palooza 2025.
Uh-huh. Well, it's hard to remember sometimes who all we've had in over 550 episodes over 16 years.
Yes.
So. Actually, I think it's been quite a bit more than that because we hit over 300 back in the early 2010s.
Our episode count is unknown because we don't know how many episodes we created.
Well, I know when we were just doing, when I was just letting Talk Shoe give us random episode numbers, we hit episode 364 back in the Talk Shoe era.
I mean, I'm sure you can do the math.
Yeah. Back in the days of 26 and out. 26 on, 2 off. Oh my God, those were the days. Minus a couple of sundry holidays every now and again.
Those halcyon days.
Oh yes. Well, again, thanks to our guest Charlene Chua for being on the podcast this week and humoring our eccentric format. And we'll see you next week with the final episode of whatever the fuck it is we've been watching.
Children of the Stones.
Children getting stoned. Jesus Christ.
We're
That
about a
would be
decade
weird.
off from that.
Yeah.
Are we?
I'm more making a drug panic joke, but yes.
I know, but it feels like it started here. But yeah, I get you. Anyway.
Anywho. So looking forward to next week, and we'll see you all then. And hopefully by episode 12, we'll have our new home set up and operational. But until next time, I'm your host, Mac Paladin. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, kids.